Hello, I'm Serena Nelson. I've been knitting for about 5 years. I enjoy knitting for friends and family and even myself. Today I'm going to demonstrate adding a border to a knitted project. When you add a border, you can give your project a little extra flair. When adding a border, you can choose a completely different stitch pattern than you used on your garment, or you can also use a different color. So the possibilities are endless on adding a border. On this particular project here, I added a very simple little border that's just 6 rows. And adding a border, there's several different ways you can do it. One, it depends on the size of your border you're adding. If it's a relatively small border, you can just use a standard knitting needle. If you were to add a border along a full-length scarf or an afghan, you would actually need to use a circular needle because those can accommodate hundreds of stitches. So you need to keep that in mind when adding your border. So this border here, what we're going to do is we're just going to pick up some stitches along the other end. So when you are picking up your stitches, you always want to go through 2 strands of yarn. If you end up going through just 1 strand of yarn, a lot of times you're left with a hole where you've picked up that stitch. So you want to pick up 2 strands of your stitch. The first stitch is kind of the trickiest just to get you started. But essentially, you're just putting a stitch on your needle, and then you're just going to continue on down through. You're just going to really just kind of knit a stitch on to your garment. And you're just going to continue all the way across the bottom. And then once you have your stitches picked up, you are just going to knit them in the pattern that you have chosen, and then you will cast off, and that will create this border. Once again, I'm Serena, and that is how to add a border to your knitted garment.